Oh my gosh. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Maniac Thursday tournament. My name is Dr. Fish, and I will be one of your casters alongside Heat Shock. And
hey, yep, I'm back.
we are back.
Long time no see.
Long time no see. And so we have our bracket up and running. I will just be adding in the players for the match that we will be watching. As the brackets were only just decided. So we're going to be watching Rice Bowl versus Tea Stew. So I will be adding in their names onto the screen and getting all their information as we go along. Let's take a look at their deck lists. We have a Druid, Rogue, and Warrior from Rice Bowl and a Druid, Rogue, and Warlock. from T Stew.
Make sure I have Rice Bowl. I don't think I'm friends with T Stew, so you have to hook me up with his.
Sure.
Or I can just comment on one perspective during the match. Either way.
Yeah, I will make sure that we have both people in there, and the names are, and you can also grab them through the Battlefy link as
Oh, I
well.
can. You're probably right.
Yeah,
I don't think about that.
all good. I want to make sure I have T Stew added. I know I have Rice Bowl added. I'm already friends with them. Nice, cool. Um, so yeah, we'll be adding in the classes for these players. Got got Druid, Rogue from both players. I kind of expected to see Rogue and Warrior. I think we'll be expecting to see quite a few like warriors and rogues, as they're very popular classes right now, and they all seem to get kind of strengthened a bit by the mini set.
Hmm.
But I'm very interested in this warlock that T2 has brought. I didn't quite get to
Zoo
look at the
Warlocks have
list.
really taken off.
Yeah, new Zoolock, and very interesting and exciting.
It looks like it was banned anyway, but no,
Ah,
I've been playing this on ladder. It's a lot of fun. It's
cool.
a cool new thing to do.
Well, we'll have to. Well, if he gets through, maybe we'll get to see it in another
It's
round.
also the warrior counter,
Yeah, I've heard that it's good
supposedly.
into warrior. Yeah. All right. So everything's up on the screen for the players. I will be contacting them to get their match started.
So we'll have to see how this goes. I think based on the deck lists alone, Rice Bowl is the favorite here
Mm-hmm.
because he gets to play this warrior,
Gotcha.
and I think it's a very much a good and real deck with
Mm-hmm.
good matchups into the rogue and the druid.
Yeah, for sure.
That being said, I definitely see a path to victory for the rogue. I think
Mm-hmm.
it can, with a good start, it can snowball out and really exploit the quest
Yeah.
gadgets.
Yeah, it looks like both players have started. Or it looks like they've started. I did send them on their
Hmm.
way just to keep the tournament moving. Because we don't want to
Yep.
keep the other players waiting. But this will be a pretty, this all in all is going to be generally shorter than what we're used to, as we are generally playing what's the word? We are playing
Well, there's a lot of aggro decks with the
best
new
of
meta.
fives.
I think that's also a factor. But
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Rice Bowl needs to turn spectate.
yeah, I'm also having that issue actually. But a good starting hand for T Stew. We
Yeah,
get a stealth, pretty much the best 2-drop you can ask for.
for sure. All right, we'll be adjusting, getting everything all set up as we go along. We do have a, if we have a tease, do we have a spec for Rice Bowl?
This is
We
an
do.
interesting new version of the tokeny druid with
Hmm.
Jerry Rig Carpenter and does it have? So the soil. So we're going to be trying out some newer cards. That's cool.
Yeah.
You gotta be scrappy with scraps.
Notably, though, this druid doesn't have any of the powerful early game cards that you really want in the mulligan.
Hmm.
Not that it's bad, but
Yeah.
so we can choose to play Plunderer SI7, but I think the SI Operative is the stronger choice. You could even shoot the 2-1 with the Plunderer afterwards if you wanted.
For
I think that
sure.
would be pretty reasonable.
So many options.
Perhaps he's thinking that the SI7 agent offers a better body here, but it's not a full clear. So I think we're going to be holding off on that one.
Choose soon.
Biomatic SI7 is a pretty powerful turn 4.
Mhm.
But we're going to be seeing the... Oh, this is a little bit slow, I gotta say. I would have liked to see another minion come down or something. Probably the Annoyatron. I think we're going to be getting shoved off the board quickly here. Biomatic and SI7 agent. I certainly don't want to give an Oracle Loon to a Druid. Probably just let them have the Adorable Infestation.
This guy's toast.
I think I want to push the 2 damage. I don't think there's a reason to preserve stealth against a token Druid. I guess you could think about the new 3/1 with Rush as an
Mhm.
option. But there's other things that card could run into anyway.
Yeah. This situation just looks like the Druid is gonna have a very difficult time regaining board at this point. With no tools that we're used to seeing aggro Druid have with like Battle Guard and other cards. We see Sow the Soil for attack just to make trading more awkward here for the rogue.
It's not going to work. I hate to say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert. But
yeah, spoiler alert for sure. We see SI Operative come in the hand, which is pretty much the card that was exactly needed by T2 in this situation.
it's really nice. I think he
Yeah.
could have managed without it.
Oh, of
Fine. It wouldn't
course.
have been a crisis.
Yeah, but now we get
But
to Gizmo as well.
I think I prefer the dagger, honestly. Otherwise, I was just going to play the informant and the gadget. But
Hmm.
with how this works out, the dagger seems very clean and useful here to preserve board control.
Yeah. That's exactly what we see. Pushing 5 damage here, as well as getting a stealth 2/2.
Luckily for Rice Bowl, there's not a sap gadget in hand for the rogue. I think that would be pretty backbreaking here.
Yeah, I
If it came
agree.
down.
If there was a fizz, yeah, pretty much the 1 mana sap. It's even better than sap because it forces the player to not be able, forces Rice Bowl to not be able to play it next turn.
Hmm.
Oh man, big 7/7 coming out on board here. It's gonna face tank the 4 on top of the Wicked Stab. Gonna be able to push quite a lot here. Oh, Basilisk. That's a bit of
Oh
a
yeah,
bummer, but
we have to
hey,
kill it because of the 7/7.
agreed.
Too important.
Yeah.
So next turn we have Cub Adorable Arbor up, but we have to get there. So I think the Teacher's Pet is maybe the best option. You could also play the Park Panther and just take the 7, get rid of the giant minion.
Yeah, I could see that. That's definitely an option. But in like you said, the Teacher's Pet um is the play here from Rice Bowl maybe deciding whether to play out the Cub or not and opts for it. These top decks have been quite good. Guardian Og Merchant, Druid of the Reef, and Sow the Soil. Looked like Sow the Soil was picked, I believe.
We're gonna see Wicked Stab and Dagger again to kill this 4/5.
That's my guess, yeah. And we see Mr. Smite in the hand for this rogue to push that extra damage from hand.
I'm not opposed to Secret Passage here. I think we can find something. The Assassinate guy is still in the deck, and he's very cheap at this point.
Agreed. Yeah, SI7 Assassin would be a big pickup if Tisu opted to use Secret Passage this turn. Hey, picked up an
I'd
Og.
like a full trade. I know it seems unreasonable, but I think the late game with Rogue is so far beyond what Druid is going to be doing
Agreed.
that I can tolerate missing 7. It's not like we're setting up lethal here. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he ends up going for full attack face. I mean, we're looking at 6 damage from hand, and
This is a lot of damage coming in with the Arbor up.
it
And
is.
it's gonna. I guess we can't play it because then we die to Mr. Smite, so we're not going to.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna work.
This still leads. This still leaves too much on the board. I think that it's still lethal with Mr. Smite because we're gonna have to trade our face into the 3/3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really would have preferred the Arbor up Sow the Soil there, but doesn't matter. Rogue takes the win. Kind of a surprise, I guess. I think the Rogue is the worst deck out of all 4 for these players. But
Yeah.
potentially coming down to a Druid Mirror at the end, we'll see. Or Warrior could
Potentially.
struggle. I could be wrong on its power level. It's still early. I
Yeah.
think the Druid matchup is pretty happy though for the Warrior. We've got Brawl and everything, so I don't expect an issue.
For sure, yeah. Especially since you're saying they're running the control tools, that should be pretty good. For the Warrior should be able to hold its own against the Druid. We got a Druid Mirror coming in now.
Yep, just trying to save time, I guess. Get the bad matchup over with. But we do see a Razor Main in hand this time. So the Druid should be able to do a few more powerful things than it did previously.
Yeah.
Turn 1, Razor Main, Battle Guard, Bone Chewer.
Very
Probably.
likely, yeah. That's a very strong opening.
You could coin the hero power too. I think that's a little weird, but it does deny draw when you have a card advantage.
For sure. I think that's what
Say,
we're
I
gonna do,
think
yeah.
my turn 2 is better than yours.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what TST says here.
Mm-hmm. And pending.
Yeah, I think he's gonna end up being correct.
Yeah, me as well as seeing the caster vision. Yeah, it's definitely a stronger start for Tisu.
Oh, and that's a top deck too, for sure.
That's really good. Yeah, definitely.
You could make an argument for greeting the taunt with this Razor Main since you can copy it next turn, but I think you assume you'll draw one because that's what most of the deck is.
Yeah.
Is taunts. And here you just have to play your own Oracle of Elune and threaten to copy cards as well.
Yeah, force Tisu to have to go through it and remove. Has to remove. Okay, we're gonna go double adorable.
Not going to do that.
Double adorable to remove the 2/3. I guess the Bone Chewer Brawler. That is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, but now we get to play Oracle and we get to play taunts.
Yeah.
And there's no counter pressure coming from the from Rice Bowl because he can't really do much with his Oracle now. Even if he draws a taunt.
Yeah.
We'll copy some 1/1s.
But 1/1s that are pretty much all just gonna have to trade into 2/3 taunts.
Right. Is he thinking that he doesn't want to play the Oracle here? I think he would definitely play the Oracle.
Yeah,
it's a little crazy to think about doing anything else.
I agree. I think that Oracle is a very strong play here.
There's just no world in which he can kill the mule, both the mules and like a minion behind them. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, we might just see one mule here. and adorable and something like Sow the Soil. But man, that's not terrible.
Well,
But it might,
we're gonna lose our guy now because he can hero power.
yeah.
Or even if he drew a if he drew the, oh yeah, I was gonna say Park Panther just deletes the whole board, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's game over now.
Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult to regain the board like you could have had, for sure. And
I don't think this wouldn't have happened if we played the Oracle and we got both the taunts.
oh, sure.
Jerry rig and hero power, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Do you thinking the pack mule's the better minion to play here? I don't really agree, but
I would rather have I'd rather have a split spell
yeah.
right
There's
now.
only choose one card left in the deck, and I'd like to get it
Mm-hmm.
before we strand this Jerry rig.
Yeah. We're gonna opt for Pack Mule. Okay. I would have maybe liked to save the Pack Mule for turn 5 just because you're guaranteed a Loon plus it.
I think he
But
wants to play the Arbor up.
I
That's what I
I
think.
see. Yeah.
I think both of these players are saving Oracle Valoon for next game.
Yeah. It would seem like neither of them are gonna end up playing it. Just because they didn't really get. I mean, in Tisu's case, he probably had his best opportunity, and he went with a different play. And Rice Bowl really hasn't had a good play for his Aloon, besides slamming it
No,
on
he had it
3.
on
Besides
turn 3. It was fantastic.
yeah,
But
besides just
since then,
slamming
it's
it.
been pretty weak.
Yeah. I mean, the best play is probably just to play the Arbor here. I don't see much
Yeah, but
better.
it's not good. It's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you go wide with Oracle plus Jerry Rig, but I'm not sure. Um, I
Jerry Rig
guess,
Carpenter's not the best minion to be copying.
yeah, but I guess it's something to copy.
Reflect in the moonlight. You gotta be scrappy with scraps.
Yeah, definitely rough.
You gotta be scrappy with scraps.
And here, I think
I mean,
Arbor up kind of
Arbor Up
seals
is
the game.
yeah, Arbor Up is really good, and there's a Druid of the Reef. I
Oracle with the Druid is pretty nutty. So I think
true,
this is
yeah,
fine.
yeah, just make the double rushers, yeah. Clears the board fully. And just gets ready for doesn't even necessarily have to trade.
No, I would trade the 1/1 in hero power.
True, yeah. And that way you keep the 3-1 for Arbor up next turn.
Right, the 3/1 is such a good stat line into Druid because everything is like an odd health most of the time except for Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you Arbor up it, it can kill a great not a Greybow, the teacher's pet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm spending a lot of time at this decision now when I think he's got the game sealed up. But treasuring his advantage position on stream, I guess.
Yeah. This is definitely a really strong position. We might just see 2/2 Treant plus Arbor here, and that's pretty much the last gasp because no composting. We have 2 composting in hands and a thing that gives attack to minions. This is very rough here.
Oh wow. I think you picked the 1/3 because we're playing Arbor up.
Probably.
That's fine. You can trade the 3/1s first, and then you can play the Arbor up. That's fine too.
Yeah. I think now we see the Arbor up, and I wouldn't be surprised to just see it concede.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I actually didn't know there was a concede coming. I just guessed that based on how the match was going. That
yeah, I mean we saw kind of
see that.
Fighting a little bit too hard for board when Park Panther exists, I think was the downside of that game. Because
I
you
would
kind of have to be
agree.
mindful of what answers your opponent has on each turn, right?
Yeah,
What do they want to
definitely.
do on curve? And unfortunately, we came up with something that
Hmm.
went right into that.
Agreed. Yeah, I think now we're coming down to the last match, which is going to be Warrior versus Druid.
I think Warrior, I see a Brawl and a Sword Eater, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable as the Warrior.
Yeah.
Sword Eater is just consistently well beyond whatever you're supposed to be doing on turn 4. In
It
every
really
way.
is. Yeah, I remember when Sword Eater came out, I was like, this card is real. Like, is a card that I was
It's just so
definitely
weird
looking at it as a
because
power card.
Fiery War Axe is a 3 mana card, and sure, 2 mana is pretty good, right? Then
Yes.
you look at what is a 2/5 body worth in mana, and the answer is like 3.
Hmm.
Right, so we've got like this 6 mana card
Hmm.
for for
Before
4 mana.
this is it's a slightly clunky start, and the Druid is gonna get to draw cards.
Yeah, Peasant really is a lifesaver, I think.
Yeah. At least on turn 2, Rice Bowl will be able to contest it with a Foxtail Freebooter. Just depends on how much is on the board already at that point. Um, double Druid of the Reef drawn with a Adorable in hand. I would guess we're gonna play maybe one of those, plus maybe Adorable or just gonna look at a hero power. I feel like this Druid needs to get as much on board as possible early against Warrior.
Sure. Um, if we play both the 1/3s, I don't know if there's a minefield in here. I didn't look. I don't
Oh,
think there would be.
um, I will take a look. The answer is
Yeah, no
their
minefield.
answer is no minefield. So this deck is a quest control version of the deck. So it's running the Sour Fang package of Kresh and Anchorman plus, which Anchorman's running both versions. It's running
Mhm.
double Brawl, double Rancor, double Heavy Plate, Lord Barov, uh, running and it's running two weapons in Bulwark and Outrider's Axe. Oh, it looks
Yeah,
like
I've really become a big fan of the cleave weapon
yeah, the
in
Reaper Scythe.
a slower warrior build.
Yeah, it's pretty good, honestly. I've had it ruin my day quite a few times. Few of my matches that's been
Hmm.
very. It's just really frustrating when you set it up and then it's like, oh, my opponent might probably be running Axe. No, it's Reaper Scythe, and they run two of them, and they clear your board twice. Um,
So this is probably the most important turn in the game for warrior. You have to
yeah,
decide if you want to coin the sword eater and get a little bit of help now, or wait and coin the brawl next turn.
gotcha. Um, hmm. If you're not coining Brawl, then he's likely just playing Cargo Guard this turn.
Right.
But we're gonna go for the coin Sword Eater.
I think I would have waited on the. I would have done the brawl line. I think it's too important to get that before you see an arbor up.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. Obviously, there's no arbor up in hand, so in that context, this could easily be the right line.
Yeah, I mean that Park Panther is massive. It removes the 2/5, and allows to push a damage face or push more damage face. Um, we do see the pack mule. There is a bugged pack mule, so uh, if that gets played, then we will have to
Hmm.
respec. Um, oh no, he hovered it.
Now play the other one. Come on,
One on the right.
make us leave.
Yeah.
What to do?
Hmm. I I think personally I just want to play Park Panther, trade the 1/1 into the 2/5 with it, and then I'm pushing 7 damage. Um
Right.
Okay, so he played the Bug Pack Mule and did some trades.
Guess he wanted to take his time, which is reasonable.
Oh yeah, definitely. Don't wanna make sure that you're you're going with the game plan that you have for that, like, you know, if he has a specific game plan in mind for this warrior, that he's gonna stick that he sticks to that. Um yeah, let's look at the board. He did play both mules.
Okay, it looks like a Rancor was drawn. I just got back.
Yes, Rancor was
Quite the
drawn
pickup.
and played. That's a pretty big pickup there for Rice Bowl.
He really needed that. I think that board was you had to just be like praying for
Hmm.
no arbor up with that board.
Yeah. Now Tisu has stopped drawing 2 cards at the start of his turn as he has gotten rid of the peasant now with that Rancor.
Yeah, but he did
Okay.
find the composting.
Yeah, composting's quite nice. Um my guess is Tisu could go a bit wider on board here. And set up a nice composting for refill. There is always the second there's always second teacher's pet for later. Park Panther's another possible play. Looks like we're not going to be playing composting this turn. We are going to be trading off and getting rid of the 2/5. Playing an extra cub. So in this position, the quest is at 1 of 2 for part 2 for this warrior, where they've drawn their weapon, which you can see is Bulwark of Azzinoth. Only surviving minion is a 1/1, so very, very solid result. Overall, as Jungle Panther is a minion that has come out of Teacher's Pet.
Yeah, I think he would have liked something you could swing into with the weapon to take the damage off right now, but
Yeah,
you can't.
has to decide whether to even swing the weapon at all, and then also can decide whether he wants to trade the heavy plate that's sitting in hand with the 1 mana left.
I would trade it, and with the intention of swinging and playing this bulwark at some point in the future. So I don't think we need the health right now. I'd rather get things that get board control, like another brawl or another rancor.
Hmm.
Picks up a 1/1, which is not, or a 1-drop, which is not really great. But
Yeah.
it does allow us to finish the quest next turn if that's what you want to do. I don't think it is.
Yeah, I think I'd rather next turn I would maybe look more at completing just the next part of the quest. Gonna want to get some armor here. The cargo guard is probably gonna have to get played. Fresh picked up as well.
Okay, I don't know about the order 100%. Oh, that's a disaster.
Magnificent.
Wow, unfortunate. That's 2 1 and 4s that completely whiff any minion. And yeah, he's just gonna.
Yeah,
We're just gonna go with completing quests and dropping a 1 mana bulwark. Yeah, I agree. You should usually play the Harbor Scamp first to draw and see what you get. Although I believe that Cargo Guard would have been played regardless, but who knows, if you get something like an Anchorman or something like that, you might change of plans potentially. But obviously, the cannon shot's just really brutal for Rice Bowl here.
right. Even if you hit the 4/5, at least you can kill it with the weapon.
Yeah, definitely.
The bulwark buys a lot of time though.
It really does.
What is it?
be scrappy with scraps.
All right, so we're gonna go probably play the one that
We're
gives
trading our
attack
4-2
here.
into a 2-2. That seems upsetting if that's the case.
Time waits for no one.
I think he's just gonna start taking. He's just gonna start poking at the bulwark here, which isn't bad at all. He's gonna give
Yeah.
attack to his. He might trade off the 2-1. No, he's gonna just opt to go double face, which is perfectly reasonable. It leaves the bulwark at 1 proc. No, and no more. Very importantly, is going to learn that there was no clearment. There's nothing to clear the board drawn there. Like second Rancor would have been very, very bad. Even though it clears all of Rice Bowl's board, at least he'd be able to develop. He would have been able to develop what that we can see is the cargo guard that comes down on top of more armor.
Well, there's a Barov. Now we just need something to kill it.
Yeah,
And you're in business here as the warrior.
for sure.
There's no more reload in hand. This is kind of it.
Agreed. Yeah.
I mean, there's the draw of the last cat. So maybe we trade that into the 4-1.
Yeah.
And just see what we have, what tools we have to work with this turn. Because
Yeah.
that's going to happen anyway.
I would like to see the draw as well here. The Rust Reviper is a pretty nice
Oh, wow, that's
minion.
an impactful draw for
That
sure.
really is. It gets to make a very big board. We're going to see trades, and then we'll see a Loon plus a Battle Guard.
No, this next top deck is probably make or break it for the warrior.
Agreed, yeah.
If you clear this board, the druid has nothing left. If you don't, you probably die. Axe.
Yeah. Outrider's Axe. We'll be able to clear off something, but it's just not enough. There's
Can we play the Rokara and live?
Yes.
Technically, yeah.
Because
you're not really, unless it's Arbor up.
Yeah, but Arbor Up is the only way you die. And I mean, if they have it, they have it anyways. You're gonna be dead, so you might as well Rokara.
Yeah, you might as well just play the Rokara.
Yeah.
It's better than hero power, I think. I don't think hero power fixes any problems with what's happening.
No.
Well, I guess the downside is you replace your Outrider's Axe, right? With something that
is
might not draw the
downside,
card, and you
yeah.
need to find that card for the Barov.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a way, maybe like. Okay, we're gonna see Rokara. I thought maybe there's a way, there's a line because if there's no buff, like Rice Bowl could say I could go Barov and hero power and just have the looming threat of killing the entire board away unless you have Arbor up. Because you know that you would guess that there's no other way to buff besides that specific minion. Now it looks like the Park Panther cleanly clears off this Rokara, even though you're tanking some damage.
I think we were going face.
Yeah,
No, I don't like this. I wanted to run the Panther in and just hit face for 4.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Gorhal's a great weapon.
Gorhal's a great weapon, but it doesn't. Unfortunately.
Oh wait, we can kill the Barov.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shiver their timbers.
So the order is Barov, Kresh, and then you pop the Barov with the AoE.
Smart. Looks like we're gonna pop the Divine Shields first. It feels so bad to swing a 7 weapon into a Divine Shield, but alas.
No, and it's important we get the Kresh armor here. We're actually just dead to the Park Panther.
Yeah. But there it is. That's a large board clear, 8 armor, and the 3/8 left on board.
And a game crash.
And yeah, the second pack mule's been drawn. And
yeah, all right. He's playing the wrong one again.
no, he's playing both of them. So we'll be right back again.
for no one.
This is still actually, we were talking about this was the last wave, but now we're kind of on the last wave. I guess it took a while.
Mhm.
Here for the gold.
Man, the those things always just go face, huh?
Yeah,
Or,
I mean, I don't know.
they're,
I feel
I
like
think
I
Rice Bowl's
feel
gonna be upset.
yeah.
I think he's dead.
That's crazy. That the juggernaut that the cannon shots.
How do
Uh,
they just always go face?
I don't know. I guess that's just what happens. Unfortunately, there's just nothing really to be done. There's 9 on board.
This is lethal
Yeah,
because we couldn't kill
9
the
damage
4/4.
on
That's really
board
all
with
we
the
needed to do. But
yeah. The Park Panther surviving is big.
not a good weapon either, really. If you killed the tutu, you lived here. Or if the cannons shoot like 2 of the same thing or something.
Yeah, and now Tisu just cleans up. Rice Bowl concedes prior to the winning happening. We have our winner. We have Tisu moving on to the next round. He will be facing off against Vino Spumoni. We have Mick and Jolt C currently already playing their round 2 match. After Mick has swept in the first round over Saku, he is currently up 1-0 over Jolt C. And we will be moving into the next part of bracket, which is going to be Corridon versus Reverb, as Corridon has taken the match there. Um, I will.
Oh, Goose versus Always Lethal is apparently happening. If you want to catch that.
Uh. Ooh. I did tell the other players that we were gonna stream their match.
Okay,
I will
that's
we
fine.
will okay, so we're gonna watch that and then we'll watch the winner of we'll catch the winner's match for that lower part between Tisu, Vino, and then Goose Always Lethal. We'll get to watch them next after that. I'll make sure I get that communicated. I have reverbs. Okay, so let me look at the class. So we have Rogue, Warlock, Druid, Rogue, and Warlock for Reverb, and we have Demon Hunter, Paladin, and Warrior for Corridon. So completely different classes for both players. Very interesting.
Yeah,
We get
no
over
overlap at all.
we get back over to the caster's screen.
Quest Rogue is apparently the rogue of choice tonight, from what we've seen.
I guess yeah. It's Crest Rogue is interesting. It actually has some decent matchups into decks like
Well, I think
it has
it's
decent matchups into Warrior. It has
I think it's mostly agreed by good players that it pretty much that Garrote Rogue does the same thing better in all cases if you know it. But
yeah,
definitely something you can just pick up and play
I'm
with
one
Quest Rogue.
I kind of wonder if the Warrior matchup helps is something that Rogue might struggle with more than Questline. Generally
Um,
does. I might be wrong. I mean, I also like it's
I mean, if
very
you're just playing
it's.
a game, the Rogue gets a little annoyed. That's fair.
I guess I don't know. Honestly, I really am not a super expert on how things are playing out, matchup wise right now. So you might be right. Garrote Rogue is an incredible deck, for sure.
We have a hand buff Paladin.
Nice. Coordinates.
No, it's a okay. I don't actually know what this is. I thought it was hand buff because I saw that there weren't secrets or Librams, but I think I'm wrong.
Oh, this is
It's
this
just
is
weird.
Glee's aggro paladin.
Okay.
Yeah. This is an aggro paladin list that I saw was on Hearthstone top deck featured uh
Uh,
as a deck that Glee played, pretty high legend.
well, Gordon not afraid to bring the spice today. Especially
Um,
with this demon hunter as well is a
is he
little bit a little bit
brought
interesting.
has he brought big DH?
He brought Proving Grounds, which is a card we haven't been seeing a lot of.
Big
Um,
DH. Nice. All right, let me check. I don't think we have bans yet.
Reverb is playing it very safe here with his basically old Quest Warlock and
Yeah,
Aggro Druid.
for sure.
It's not even a Zoo Quest Warlock.
The
It's got
old Quest
it's got the
Hamlock.
Shadowblade Singer, which I think is pretty good.
Good. He's not running Hull Breaker. That's good to know. I tried that card and I wasn't the biggest fan of it.
Yeah, I think it's a good card. Maybe it's not right for the slower Warlock, but I think it's
Yeah,
pretty incredible in Zoo.
gotcha. Yeah, I haven't played Zoo yet, so that might be what I'm missing. Yeah, it looks like
I
this.
think the concern is you don't want to take too much damage with Warlock if you want to prolong the game a lot.
Agreed.
And
Yeah.
it sometimes it doesn't line up very well.
Mhm. Yep. All right, we'll just wait for bans, and then they will be able to send their players off, play their match. I'm super interested to see this Demon Hunter deck get played. Um,
Well, I think it's going to either fail or do great, but I don't think there's any in between for it.
yeah, I kind of agree with that, which is why I'm super interested to see it. Paladin seems like a deck that might have some in betweens. And obviously this warrior deck, the warrior deck that Corridon has brought um is definitely more of the aggressive version of the deck. It's running the blacksmithing hammer as its weapon. This looks to be and it is running double rancor, something that I don't
I've seen this.
I've
I
seen
think
this
it's
deck.
absolutely going to get cut, but people don't know what cards to play at this point, so they're
Yeah,
just playing Rancor.
I'm not sure either. I'm not sure what version I'm even running. I was running Nails as a list, which I don't think ran Rancor. I think ran something else.
I think we could see the Sarfang package end up being pretty good.
No, we are
Just
actually running double Rancor, so this might just be the Nails list.
mhm.
Yeah, I think cutting some things around and just throwing in Sour Fang package.
You just put
Actually,
Crush
no.
and Sour
You
Fang,
just
and I
put
think
Crash and Sour Fang in. Yeah, you
that's
don't
probably
need.
better than the Rancors.
Yeah, you don't need Mutinous.
There's always stuff like Rokara, Cult Neophyte, Mankrik
I'm
that are
wondering
just
if I'm being
generally
passed.
very good, like mid-rangey cards.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this one really wants to like use
Yeah. All right.
the
Good.
quest reward as the end of the game
Yep.
and not as like a value engine.
Yeah, for sure. Let me switch the screen. Bans are in. Corridon's Paladin is not going to be seen. And I believe that's a rogue ban from Corridon. No
Okay.
rogue, no Paladin. So we are going to see we are going to get to see the Demon Hunter.
Yeah, I'm worried about this Demon Hunter.
I am
That's
too. I
the
haven't really
sticking
seen it
point, right?
I've seen it in action slightly. Like, I think one of my friends was like testing it when we were chatting, but we
I
still
also
don't.
don't think this is really the dream matchups for Warrior. Like these are probably winnable, but it doesn't have the AOE you really need to really
Yeah.
beat Druid, like with no brawls or anything.
Mhm.
And the Warlock, if they get early giants, it's kind of tough without
Yeah.
a hard removal tool.
So this Yeah, this is the same version I think I think TC was running. It's running Mr. Smite in it in the list with no
Well, there's
Jerry.
no brawls.
No, for the Druid.
Oh, the Druid. Oh,
Reverb's
yeah, yeah.
Druid is it's a slightly different version. It is running Mr. Smite, but it's not running Jerry Rig, or Sow the Soil. It's running double Druid of the Reef and Mr. Smite
This
for
is
kind of
pretty
newer
much. I think
cards.
Reverb wanted to like play pretty much old decks with a couple new cards sprinkled in.
Yes, he did. He
He did
did
not want
mention
to take
before.
any risks.
Yeah, he did mention before that he brought at least one new card to every matchup. Yep. So I was just waiting to see I was just waiting for the players to get readied up, and I guess there you go. Yep. So
Yeah.
yeah. So let's see. While we're waiting, if I can, I'll pull the bracket up in a separate tab on my screen, and I will look at how the matches are looking. No. Okay. So uh, no new reports since we've got this match pulled up. Um, Everyone looks 0-0, and then the 1-0 for Mick. Nothing else reported.
I know I'm bad about this, but I never report my battle
Yeah, I
matches until
figured
the
that
end of
some of
it.
these guys might be playing. Yeah. I will see. I was gonna look for the eyes from the players. Yep, they are started. So Corden's gonna be my first to spectate. I'll get the match pulled up on screen. We have Demon Hunter versus Druid for match 1.
Have Reverb.
Is this my final form?
Okay. Looks like we are into the thing. I'm hoping I get to see Reverb's cards, even though okay, there we go. Spectator worked.
I don't think Druid can be happy about this opening at all.
No, this is not a very good opening for Druid.
I would. It's pretty much the worst opening I can think of, honestly.
Reflect in the moonwell.
Yeah, it gives this Demon Hunter time, is the thing.
Right. I mean, there's been zero pressure on this deck with very poor defensive abilities.
Yeah, and with the weapon there, the Elune just gets straight up cleared. And he even throws in that 5 attack to get to the full 30 health.
Mhm. Likely, we'll just see a Fury here to clear this off.
Yeah, very likely.
Use the Fell Barrage. That seems fine. Sure. Preserve the lifesteal weapon.
Reflect in the moonwell.
Step up! Step up!
That's a great draw. Kills the 2/4.
Mhm.
Then you can kill one of the 2/3s as well.
Yeah, we're 1 turn away from Proving Grounds.
Right. I think we're gonna make it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
Druid.
guess the only thing is the Arbor Up is not gonna feel great.
Yeah. So it's probably depending on the draw here. Alright, it's just another squirrel. So it's probably just Squirrel Arbor up.
Right, you want to put as much attack as you can on the board into the Proving Grounds turn.
Yeah.
Now, both scrapyards have been drawn. Which is not good. Okay, that's not good.
Yeah, both Anteans. So unfortunately drew all the big minions. And then got the 2 6-drops that are dormant, which allows
So
this Druid to essentially almost win the game, essentially. There is heal, there's relentless pursuit, and there's other things to remove some pressure from the board. But that proving ground was very lackluster, unfortunately, for Corridon.
Oh, we're gonna be able to clear the board next turn if we make it.
Yes.
Two I-beams, maybe
Yeah,
we do.
double eye beam is actually, it's pretty nice. And because of relentless pursuit, it's immune when attacking here. We just see both 4/3s removed and a lot of heal. See what gets drawn. Druid of the Reef, Park Panther picked up so far, and now an Anoyotron. And a Pack Mule.
I think we're gonna make it to.
Oh no, he's gonna make me restart. Pack Mule bug is this is like even worse. This is almost worse than Patch's bug.
Yeah.
Because I can see it coming. Right. Oh, I queued the wrong person first.
Well, I think we're just playing the coil thing because we want it to die and actually get some sort of taunt.
Mhm.
So, maybe he's thinking he could die to double Park Panther, which is true.
Mhm.
No, he can't.
So
He's fine.
Antean, so yeah, a lot of the board has actually been cleared by the Anteans.
It was slow, but it got there. And now if you play the coil thing, not only do you set up lethal, but you can get a taunting if you need that for next turn, because the Scrapyard Colossus is still another turn away.
If he plays the coil thing.
Mr. Smite. Yep, Mr. Smite just kills him.
Oh,
I didn't get a chance to look at the hand because of the
because of the bug, and there's Mr. Smite. Yeah, it's reverb going up 1-0.
I think that's bad news, but the Druid was probably getting there anyway. I think the Warlock might have more of a hard time, but we know how good Quest Warlock hands can be sometimes.
Agreed, yeah. And we're gonna get an insta-queue into the next match, so let's see what they pick.
More Demon Hunter. I appreciate that he's trying to show it off on stream.
I do too.
Giving us something spicy.
Yeah, definitely.
Is this my final form?
Oh, Sigil Runner. Well, maybe you don't want to draw. I'm not sure. We don't have the Proving Grounds yet, so maybe we do want to draw until we find that.
Yeah.
But up to a point, you don't want to draw because you don't want to draw all your minions, and then the Proving Grounds isn't good.
Mhm.
That's the weird thing about these big decks.
Yeah.
I guess Chaos Strike. I wonder how much face damage this Demon Hunter can put out, if it can really threaten the Warlock just with like Furies and stuff.
It can do a lot. We have a drawn Proving Grounds, and we only have an Antean and a Coil Fang in hand. So We're looking good for a turn 5 coin proving grounds potentially here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Reverb's hand, he has a an 8 mana Flesh Giant, so only 2. Just based
Well,
off the first turns, it's just
it's actually 6 mana.
6 mana. Oh, okay.
Right.
Well then, I have.
It's one more tap away.
Looks like
Yeah,
we're.
you don't want to play Neophyte yet because of you want to block the Proving Grounds turn.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I think we'll see an Eldrachi just equipped. Or maybe you swing first without the Eldrachi. Decides he wants to face damage. Fair enough. Yeah, Fell Barrage and Fury. It would be funny if this Warlock just kills himself into the Demon Hunter face damage spells. But I don't think we're going to see that happen.
Yeah, I would highly doubt that as well. Got Netheron, and we've got the Neophyte, which is gonna stop the Proving Ground. So we're just gonna see a top decked Relentless Pursuit and an I-Beam.
Raise Dead here would be
Yeah.
disgusting. Does not have it though.
Yep. Oh, an update that Jolt C reverse Mick and is 2-1.
Oh wow,
So
that's a surprise.
So Jolt C will be playing against the winner of this match in the next round. And Always Lethal is currently up 1-0, and T2's up 1-0. So the matches are all moving at a similar pace, which is very nice to see. Proving Ground comes out. Antian and Burning Blade Acolyte.
If we were going to get something with the Antane, I wish it wasn't that one, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
Agreed, yeah.
Oh, this seems a little bit risky with the amount of damage you're doing to your own face.
Agreed, yeah. We're looking at some decent chunk of damage. I guess the idea is he wants to kind of
He wants the giant.
turbo quest and play giant, yeah. Okay. So we'll get to do just that.
Yeah.
He's at 12 as well, so he's not in too much threat right now.
Well, here's the thing. So Bristleback is not active in the near future,
Yes.
right?
It's not. Yeah, there's 15 cards in deck.
This
No backfiring,
Intane is
yeah.
waking up next turn, and we have a Fury and a Fell Barrage in hand.
Yeah, this looks good. The Demon Hunter probably ends up getting through here in the end. We'll use Drain Soul, and we'll have to... Okay, we're going to double Drain Soul this, so that'll be...
That's 6 healing. That's a lot.
Quite a lot of good heal. And Slinger will finish it off. Double Slinger.
This is good, but now there's nothing to kill this Intane when it wakes up.
Yeah. It is doing a lot of damage to face with left, which leaves the Null alive, which still doesn't leave a clean answer for the Antane, especially with this Chaos Leech.
Mm-hmm. And Chaos Leech, and we can play the Burning Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to try and ship face damage?
Yeah, he is going to ship face damage. He's going to make it... He's going to make it so Reverb can't tap. No, he'll be able to... Yeah, he'll be able to tap, but it'll be at 1 health.
This is interesting. My concern is just the 6/6 taunt. We've spent all our removal, so now we can't actually push the 10 damage face if he plays a taunt.
Mm-hmm. Touch of the Nathrezim plus...
We can play, I guess, I-Beam Immolation Aura will work.
I-Beam Immo trade.
Okay.
Yep,
That definitely works. With the Relentless, it's perfectly
he sees
fine.
it, yeah. I guess he actually picked up a Relentless off the top to get there. But he played it very fast. Alright. We have a series. If Warlock
The
versus
Demon Hunter got there.
Warrior. Yeah.
I think we saw that the if you don't plan ahead appropriately, Warlock has a really tough time with big minions. And I think that there could have been some different lines there from Warlock to maybe manage that more appropriately.
Yeah,
Especially
potentially. I
taking,
would
we really
agree.
didn't need to take an extra 5 damage with the blast to kill that taunt, right?
Hmm.
Do not
We
Yeah.
took 5 on shooting the one, and we took another 2 for no reason, just for the giant activation.
Hmm.
All right, well, we got a 1, 2, 3, 4 in hand. Maybe not the perfect 3-drop in this matchup. It's probably better if you wait a little bit, but we may play it anyway if the scamp doesn't pick up what we need.
Yeah. Up a Bloodseal deckhand.
I think this Rancor is going to be really frustrating in this matchup. Don't have high expectations for that card.
That's pretty nice. You get to, you can complete quest here if he wants, if Corden wants
Yeah.
to, and that's really nice. It gives a 3 mana hammer, even though you haven't traded it back. I don't know. See. I always forget if things hold value after trading, but it looks like we're just gonna sit tight here with
I think
the
it's looking
the
at
hero
this
power.
Cannoneer and the Bloodsail Raider better after the Sword Eater.
Yeah, that's very nice spotting. That is definitely the case. We see the null come out from Reverb. And it's obviously to contest board. Which is
Yeah, we
important
could have
in
done
this
the
matchup.
backfire for the Anatheron setup.
Yeah, I was gonna point. Yeah, I think perhaps
But you
just
can
the
still
backfire
coin
here.
backfire and then play the Anatheron, so I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Can't you?
Well, he played
No,
a
we
card
can't.
last turn, so he's fine to
Yeah,
just
we're good. We're
Anatheron.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now we're gonna see Defias Cannoneer, Bloodsail Raider, and there's gonna be 4 cannon shots this turn.
I don't think we're doing that.
No?
No.
Shiver their
I think we're playing the
Timbers.
Shiver the Timbers, trading the weapon. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, you know. That's the concern I'd have.
I guess for sure, yeah.
We're putting a lot of damage where it doesn't need to go, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. At the cannon, so now we got down to 12.
I actually would have preferred to see the Bloodsail come out over the Cannoneer. That's
No.
fine.
Yeah. Now we see double Drain Soul coining out Touch of the Nathrezim. Flesh Giant's getting lower in cost.
Yeah, if we had saved the Cannoneer, we could have done Stormwind and hit it with the cannon on the board. This is still pretty likely to clear,
Yeah.
and we got it. I think you play the Pirate.
Yeah, one pirate, a lower cost pirate like a Harbor Scamp or second Bloodsail Raider or second Deckhand would, or Foxtail would. A 2-mana pirate or less would allow Rokara to come down next turn, which would give inevitability, which would help just further give just create the inevitability scenario here for this.
I think the Warlock quest is
Warlock.
better than the Warrior quest by quite a bit.
It is, but I think because Warrior can get the quest online faster, it can make some form of difference.
That is the question, right?
Yeah. Looks like that's what we're getting, and just probably see Rokara here.
The Juggernaut is under my command.
I mean, I think we're seeing this Rancor being a huge liability, though, in this matchup.
Agreed.
We've got 2 of them that have been sitting here the whole game, and we have no cards to play.
Yeah, at least this cutting class is likely just able to get played because at least the weapon gets equipped every turn. The worst case is it's 1 attack card, so the cutting class costs 4. Second, Unstable Shadow Blast coming out. It's gonna help further the Warlock quest. Slinger to deal 5 damage, and Touch of the Nathrezim to
Alright, well, I was talking smack on this Rancor, but it looks like it might be okay here, depending on how the cannon shots go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the move. Just take the 4 health. Get a little bit of a better. Okay. I'm drawing some cards. Hmm. I don't know. I kind of like the Rancor still. The thing is, the Rancor never gets better than it is now, right? The other cards are all getting better. And we do have to be mindful of the Wind Fury. Like, we don't want to just leave a bunch of damage. And we're just still so far off from finishing this quest for Warlock.
Yeah. It's definitely very far off. And the Rancor, this Rancor can just clear the board depending on cannons. Yep.
I don't think we're not playing the Rancor. We're doing the other stuff.
Doesn't need to do it because it cleared the board anyway. So we just played Defias Cannoneer, go face, and probably play Cargo Guard. Yeah.
No, I think that just plays into Soul Rend. There is probably Soul Rend still. We didn't cut that.
Oh, he opts for just hero power, so he doesn't play too hard into Soul Rend. Yeah, there's a Rend right off the top there. We do see that this Warlock is now at 10 cards in deck, so it's 1 mana 6/6s, and the Bristlebacks do heal 6 and deal 6. So
Is he not playing the Soul Rend here?
I think we're gonna just clear with. We're just gonna leave one up and play, or we're not gonna leave anything up. We're gonna play.
You can do this. I just think that the minions get better, and the Soul Rend doesn't. I don't think the Soul Rend is getting any better in this game.
I would agree with that. For sure. The positioning really clutch here, considering that it doesn't matter too much because of the hand that Corridon has. He can pretty easily get rid of this.
This is a pretty good pirate too.
Yeah.
2/8. I think we're seeing that the new pirates they added in the last set have really elevated the quality of the pool.
Yeah, agreed.
This is fine. My concern is we didn't really push a lot of damage with this line.
Yeah.
And I think that, again, the longer this goes, the more of an edge Warlock gets.
Agreed, yeah, because Warlock can keep tapping. And they're at 0 of 8, and now they're going to 5 of 8. And they get cards back. He just took a lot of damage, and now he's gonna be able to full clear. He mills only
lost
one
the
card
giant.
per end. Yeah.
That's definitely the worst mill.
Yeah. He gets Tamsin here though. Gets a 1 mana 6/6.
You get accustomed to the smell. Muzzle their magic. Obviously, I never miss.
And Gorehowl.
Gorehowl, yeah.
Can we get that to go face? No.
No.
Bummer.
It's close, but no.
If one of the missiles had hit the 6/6, we could.
Yes, agree. Yeah, for sure. That would actually just have ended the game. So,
No, well, if they went face and the 6/6, yeah.
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 It went 2-1 and it went 2-1 in face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's just gonna have to tank the damage here, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not great. But one of the things we haven't seen yet is the
Mr. Smite can end this pretty fast.
the bulwark.
Bulwark, yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to say. I think that's a very powerful
he
card.
doesn't run. Pretty sure Corridon is a run bulwark.
Not in this deck, but you can get it from the
Oh yeah, we haven't seen bulwark from Rokara. Yeah.
Rokara, yeah.
Soul Rend, Rokara. Yeah.
Backfire is a huge mill.
Yeah, that was a huge mill. Backfire, something you really. I mean, it kind of had to do that.
Oh, and that's lethal.
Wow.
Mr. Smite off the top. At the
There.
perfect time, too.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of turns in this game where he wouldn't have been great, but...
And he would have tanked. He would have maybe had to tank the damage there, or probably would have just hit in with the minion and then played Rancor.
Yeah.
And Mr. Smite off the top gives Corridon the victory, and he will be going on to face Doltzy in the next round. And we have our next match ready, which is going to be Always Lethal versus T-Stew.
Okay.
I have it at least they know that they're going to be playing. I will be.
Yeah, I'm looking at the last match, Always Lethal versus Goose. Goose brought the same Demon Hunter here with the Proving Grounds, and it did not go well for him,
Gotcha.
unfortunately.
Yep. So
but,
we have the players are all banned, and probably just waiting on our go. So I will just change the names on the players here. Then I will do the adjusting during the first game. For classes. So we're gonna see T-Stew versus Always Lethal in semifinals action, and then we will see who gets to go to the final. Yeah. If you've gotten to look at their, well, we've seen T-Stew's decks. It looks like Always Lethal has the same lineup, except he brought Poison Rogue, the new Poison Rogue deck for his Rogue.
Well, we call it Poison Rogue, but it's a little... No, it's pretty much Poison Rogue. There's some other junk thrown in there, but...
Yeah, I've seen the new decks, and I wasn't...
It's Poison Rogue that kills you harder when they hit the nuts.
True. Yeah, I have to just get Always Lethal added, and then...
It has been banned, it looks like.
Yes, the Rogue has been banned, and I believe that's a Druid ban from Always Lethal.
Yeah, he has his own... Always Lethal has his own alignment Druid, so probably does not want to play against tokens with that deck.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And he has Zoo as well.
Nice.
Versus T-Stew has the more traditional Warlock.
Gotcha. Waiting for my client to let me add Always Lethal. Go. Okay, cool. I can just message them in here. Right. So first to spectate for me is going to be Always Lethal, and then we'll have T-Stew at the top of my screen. So we have a mirror of classes, but two different bands, which is always interesting because they are different decks. Just the classes are mirrored, nothing else.
Right, it definitely feels like most of the classes have a lot of options right now in what you do with them, besides like Mage. It's a little one-dimensional, but
Agreed.
definitely a lot of ways in which you can play an aggro deck, is what I would say.
Definitely. All right. Oop. Message. ready to. I'm excited to see this warlock deck. I have not seen it yet on ladder or
Zoo?
seen a version of Zoo.
Hmm.
I played the old. I remember the version from Zoo that was early in this expansion, and I quite enjoyed it. I'm curious how this goes. So hopefully we get to see it in this match.
Well, it looks like starting off we have Druid versus Rogue.
Yeah.
Stay in the shadows.
I must protect the Fire Lord.
Not great cards for either player, although I think T2 will hang on to the 2-drop.
Mm-hmm.
This version of Quest Rogue a bit lighter on the 2-drops than we've seen. There's no stealth package.
Yeah.
Bloom and Alignment is not bad.
Happy Hollow.
Malygos as well, great card. The Rogue deck doesn't really have a lot of advantage to gain from takes the Nourish. I think there was a little bit of debate there about what I wanted, but I guess it's fine. I was gonna say I don't think Rogue has a great way to take advantage of alignment if it's played.
Yeah, I agree. I think this matchup is definitely Druid favored, and if there's a good alignment,
Mm-hmm.
especially considering that this isn't Garrote Rogue, where you can like make your whole hand cost 0 and draw
Right, Rogue
through
is a
most of your deck.
lot of great ways to take advantage of alignment in Neophyte and
Agreed.
Octobot.
Yeah. Actually, we didn't get to see Teast. Yeah, no, this is a quest version. We did get to see this deck.
Probably not giving him the Lunar Eclipse here.
I would guess not.
I think that's probably yeah.
Care to make a wager, friend?
Harry Rig Carpenter. So we get 2 halves of a Nourish. Cool. Next turn we may see alignment come out. There's the risk of death for sure.
Yeah.
But it's fairly low. No, it's pretty high. I don't know.
Yeah, the Rogue has just managed to get a lot of tempo out this game. Giving a solar eclipse, Isu knowing this, he's able to kind of confidently go with this. The hesitation obviously with going for alignment is that he's overloaded, so he would just die. Because there wouldn't be any cards that would be
Yeah, there's
playable
too
next
much
turn.
damage with the 3/2 coming down.
Yeah.
You could go for mana here on the Nourish. Solar Bloom into Cenarian Ward. Does that work?
Time waits for no one.
Yeah, it does.
It should, yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna go for the Bloom mana. Hero
Okay.
Power Face.
I don't know. I like the thought on this. I'm just concerned that there's nothing we can do.
I'm also concerned about that as well. Next turn, there's not enough mana to align. and there's really not enough to do much of anything else. And he can just 10 wood this Biomatic and just not give Always Lethal a good card.
I think
Not
that's
give him a
pretty good here,
chance.
actually.
Yeah. And then also can very likely just swing with the dagger and redagger up at the end of turn. Or I mean, I guess there's Wicked. I guess like more inevitability would be like Wicked Stab and Tenwu.
Give me that. Love
Uh,
what I want.
Doesn't want to play the Tenmu, it seems.
yeah. He's gonna do it with
Sure,
the.
you could. Yeah,
He's
this
gonna
is
do it with
fine
the.
too.
He's gonna do it with the Skulker. I see. He's gonna get progress the quest doing this. I would guess that would be the reason he does it. No, it does not progress quest, but it just leaves a minion there. Just leaves that there. But
Doesn't matter. You
there's
can't do
just
anything.
nothing that this druid can do. The quest rogue getting out to board really fast, just understanding how this matchup is played.
Well,
And
there's no ramp, I think, is the big thing for the Druid. Druid really
gotcha.
needs to ramp to do powerful things. And part of that is there's um, no wild growth even in the deck. So it's
Yeah,
really overgrowth dependent.
Concede.
gotcha. Makes sense. Quite a tough go there for Always Lethal. These two's rogue getting through. Now all that's left is the Warlock for T-Stew, and he has to navigate that against Celestial alignment, against the Alignment Druid, and
The Zoo.
against Quest Zoo.
I think the Zoo was actually in a pretty good shape
I would
for that.
agree, yeah.
Um,
Gul'dan!
Your soul shall be mine.
what did they cut from my list? Because I don't play Minari, Mashra, and Zoo. They have something. Oh, they don't have the 4-drop that draws cards.
Gotcha.
Here for the door?
Okay, a pretty decent start for T-Stew's hand lock with the backfire in hand. Meanwhile,
I wouldn't be surprised to see tap like Tour Guide and a Slinger or something next turn.
yeah, probably
I don't
has
really
to
feel the need to backfire. I'd rather get board control.
sure. I can see that.
You backfire, I guess you still have the board control tools for next turn. You just sacrifice 4 health to do it.
If he goes for that and then Always Lethal was to get even more out on board, it'd be could be quite difficult for the handlock to keep establishing. Yep. So we're just gonna see
I
tap.
think this is a good
and
compromise.
tap touch. Yep, that's quite a good play. Yeah.
Tap Tour Guide. Okay, no, this is fine. Change your health total as much as possible and get this giant going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. He's gonna be able to play both of these as well, the Flame Imp and the Tour Guide here.
Here for the door?
He's able to Tour Guide, tap Flame Imp, and he draws a Backfire. He is blazing
This is
through
pretty
the
impressive.
quest. Yeah, he's at
So
5 of 8.
if we backfire next turn, we can coin the giant
Wow,
with,
yeah.
with the Tour Guide even.
Yeah. I would guess
No,
that's...
we don't even need to. I don't even think we need to coin. I think it'll be a free giant on turn 4.
I think so as well. That's...
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. That's 2 changes.
And we
Of
can see there's still. We're basically a whole quest progression ahead of the the
Handlock.
controlling warlock here.
Yeah, the Slinger is only active for 3. That does remove
Yeah, let's kill the Flame Imp.
the
That's a
flame imp.
start.
Yeah, killing the flame imp is good here.
Leon never miss.
The funny thing is, this Shadowblade Slinger for the zoo was going to be kind of bad because the quest is going to be done before we can use it.
Yeah.
You don't take damage on your turn. It doesn't. It's just a 2/1.
Yeah. So Nightshade Matron being picked up here is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I have to like look at this list. I just want to look at it so I can make sure that I'm. Yeah, so it's just this list is cool. It's running.
Well, there's a giant, but it's not gonna work because we have
Mosh.
Well,
Well,
we can kill it with the slinger, right? Can't we? 3. No, not quite really. No,
Yeah,
it's not very clean. We probably have to find a raised dead or something from this backfire.
Yeah. Always Lethal's gonna lead with backfire. Gets
Oh, we got a
Slinger.
second slinger. That works. Perfect.
Yes, for sure.
So slinger, coin, touch.
Yeah.
You want to use these slingers now too because they only get worse as we progress through the game and you finish this quest. You could be thinking about potentially finishing the quest this turn with like a Shadow Blast,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd rather just have a giant on the board.
Obviously, I never miss. Obviously, I never miss.
Job done.
Yeah, we're at
You have Tamsin and no spells besides this Drain Soul. We can't kill the giant. I don't see a way to kill the giant here.
It's unfortunate, but there isn't a way to
Oh,
kill
now
it.
there's a way.
Oh.
Nolan to touch will work.
Mm-hmm. True.
And we can even slinger a slinger.
I think that's what we're going for. Raise dead off
Raise
the
that is the perfect
top.
draw. Finish the quest.
Finish quest, yeah. There's 11 cards in deck.
Oh, we have the Flame Imp.
Wow. Tamsin
Probably actually just play the
Flame.
tour guide. I think you just
Yeah,
maximize your taps
I
here to kill him.
agree. Yeah, he's gonna maximize his taps. Yeah, always Lethal's gonna be sure to maximize taps. This is the inevitability that Tisu does not want to see. Gonna leave that 2-1 up and force Tisu to have to trade it off the board or use it to heal. And even then
I actually would
it's-
have liked trading because then Soul Rend is probably it's something you could think about him having in his hand.
Yeah.
And we could have protected the 7/7 that way.
Fortunately, there actually isn't a Soul Rend, but
No.
Touch of the Nathrazine picked up.
I think it's time for the Tamsin double Drain Soul.
Yeah. Breed. Gotta remove the big 7/7 Tamsin.
This is lethal though.
Yes.
We have 2/1/1s on the board for these Shadow Blasts plus a Flame Imp.
Yeah. And he's just gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah. Always Lethal takes game 2. Forces match point.
Mm-hmm.
So now Handlock has to beat a Druid here. And I'm pretty sure that this Druid is probably going to be able to do pretty well into the Warlock, unless there's a monumentally good draw from the Warlock. Although I'm not 100% sure about it.
Shall be mine. I must
I think that there's a lot of tools in Druid to do well here. Like if you draw Anaconda after an alignment, you probably have a good shot at winning.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Mhm.
It's definitely a Warlock edge in this scenario from what we saw before, and there is Cult
Gotcha.
Neophytes. Those haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah, neophytes are very good into decks, into these types of decks. You can just neophyte out a post alignment druid and be able to take control yourself.
Hmm. The one thing I will say is Druid did get a benefit with Mr. Smite because now it can actually end the game more effectively.
Agree.
It never really did that in the past. It kind of
You
it
got
made a
this,
big
Red.
board, but it didn't really win when it played alignment, and now it actually can win.
Mm-hmm.
And for something slow like Warlock, that's really a big change.
Yeah.
I find Overgrowth, that's great.
Yeah, that is a key card in the matchup. The other key card in the matchup hasn't. The other couple of key cards aren't there yet. In like Celestial Alignment and Anaconda, but
Yeah.
you can get there.
Multicaster, always been a little confused by in this deck because I don't know if there's that many things that aren't nature spells. There's a couple arcanes, I think, but
Yeah, I think Celestial itself is an arcane,
and Lunar
and
Eclipse,
Lunar
I believe.
Eclipse as well. Yeah, I believe
But
you are
they're
correct.
few and far between.
Yeah, I don't believe we run any Shadow or Fire in this deck. So
Yeah, this card is nutty in Spell Mage, by the way. I don't know if you've tried that, but
I actually have not. I have steered clear of playing Quest Mage for right now. But it definitely seems like a good card because you play 3 different spells of cards, so it's that extra 3 draw, and that deck loves draw. So it makes a lot of sense.
Muzzle their magic.
Here we go. We're gonna
Here for the door.
whatever it's called. We're gonna play Neophyte into the alignment turn. So that would deny alignment from Always Lethal.
he doesn't have alignment, so it's kind of works out, right?
It does work out well, yeah.
I may just play Nourish for cards, the Enrich here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all, yeah.
We mill something. You could also play the Jerry. I don't think there's any choose ones left, is there? I don't
Second
think Jerry
Nourish.
Rig will draw anything.
Oh no, there's second Nurses in hand. Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Plus, that's part of the combo, so maybe you want to save it for that.
Sense.
You gotta be scrappy with
Nope, guess not.
Charge
It was our charge to play with the
to play with Mr. Smite when you go
Mr.
for survival of the fittest.
but he doesn't have the copy thing anyway, the 2/4.
Yeah.
So it's maybe not as much of an OKDK build of the Druid than I realized.
So, meanwhile, Tisu has completed first part of quest as well as gotten down a Netheron this turn and looking has both Soul Rends in hand, but doesn't really need to use them yet. With sitting with 9 cards in hand, Backfire would be ill-advised to play.
Yeah, I kind of question Always Lethal's last turn was maybe just not good enough for what we need.
Yeah, I can see that. It wasn't the best turn. I would
The
have been
problem
okay.
is that we don't have an alignment.
Yeah, alignment. This deck just needs that card It's so important. We're gonna get that slinger and 3 damage face. And now the warlock goes wide, which is something Druid cannot deal with.
I drew the alignment.
Ah, alignment. Okay.
To play it. I mean, we're not dead. Are we? Oh yeah, we are, aren't we? To the Wind Fury. 16, 22.
Scene.
Yeah, it's exact lethal.
Yeah. So
We set
alignment.
this up.
So alignment. Oh, but unfortunately, well,
We can play
no,
the
you can play
null. We can
Knolls.
play the null.
You play Knolls. Yeah. Or
Do
yeah,
you think you
both
play
Knolls.
both of them or just one?
Uh,
I'm just gonna
you
play
probably
one.
do enough to not. Do you do enough to not die, or enough to maybe clear 2? I don't particularly know what would the right play be in that scenario.
I think we need to play. We need to keep one of them to actually win the game.
I can see that for sure.
But if you kill the cult neophyte, then Raise Dead kind of gets you. So
Mhm.
maybe we just kill the Anatheron to play around Raise Dead.
But if he plays Race Dead, he can't even play the Neophyte.
No, yeah, not this turn, but
Oh, eventually, yeah. So we're gonna double straight
eventually.
that.
It's still a
Okay.
problem.
Yeah.
It feels weird to say that a 3/2 is better from Raise Dead than an Anatheron, but
Yeah, I guess there's plenty of scenarios where that would be the case. Just because there's no
I think
full
we're just gonna
hand.
play the Battlemaster for the stats. It's the best thing we can do.
I think that would be the best thing. It does lend itself. Like
You can draw a giant here.
You have to deal with. There's Knoll.
Oh, all right. This is about as good.
Yeah. We're not. It's the second best thing to draw there.
So we can play Enrich and then Solar Nourish for mana.
Mm-hmm.
Do we play the Cenarian Ward first? I think we do. Decides not to.
Okay. And rip Lightning Bloom.
Discover an Anaconda. We're going. We're just going, huh? Oh my god, we hit. Okay, we got some. We got a board.
Board. No. Oh man, I can't tell what was drawn because things are probably getting played pretty fast.
Things are going flying all over, but
Yeah.
this is good.
All right.
I think we're gonna see alignment come down to protect the
Yeah, I like Umbral Owl, but I'm not sure I like this. Okay. It's fine.
Okay,
This clears most. This clears the board up.
The problem is that we can double Soul Rend. But it's not actually good enough here, is it? So
No.
it's fine.
Yeah. So this Druid
The Soul Rend
with the
doesn't
pop
kill
off turn looks in good position
Yeah.
to take it. Hamson Soul Rend doesn't do it. You can't play 3 Soul Rends because you don't have 3 mana.
Right. Yeah, you can only play 2 of them.
Yeah.
And he correctly realizing that if you get everything above 10 health, he was probably good.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kill the 8/13 with the Rusher,
Yeah, so I guess it's
but you're still just dead because it's 12 plus 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're choosing to kill the larger minion.
Mm-hmm. Gonna heal out of lethal range.
The problem with this is that the
Problem is
entire
this,
board comes
problem
back.
is
It's
Mr.
not going
Smite.
anywhere.
Problem is Mr. Smite is 10 damage, which is
Oh, yeah.
exactly what we needed.
Yep,
There we go.
that's also there. I'm not used to looking at Mr. Smite damage yet.
Yeah,
so
me neither. I just noticed
my
it
bad on that front.
right at the end of the turn. So always lethal our first. Always lethal our first
Finalist.
person in the finals.
Yeah. congratulations to T2 on a top 4.
Yeah.
But we have to wait on the results of Corden versus Jolt C for our other finalist.
Yeah, and
1-1 right now.
currently 1-1, so we have time to actually
Hop in and see
hop
what's up.
in. Yeah, I'm not gonna change the screen at all. I'm just gonna hop in. Actually, no, it's over.
It's
It
over.
looks
Okay.
like it looks like Corden is hanging out in menu while Jolt C is doing battle with friend.
That's a bit strange.
Well, I assume that just means that somebody hasn't.
One of them has ended the challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other one is just sitting there.
It's like Jolt C won.
Jolt C won, so it's Jolt C versus Always Lethal. All right.
Jolt C with a very normal Libram Paladin and Druid, which we haven't seen yet. Just a taunt Druid, and then he's got the Spicy Zoo as his third deck
Cool.
with no quest. It's a no quest zoo.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
I did not know that existed either.
Yeah, I've seen it a little bit. I think the idea being that with stuff like Canrathad and Dark Glare, you can like rush people down a little faster.
That seems like a deck that just goes for giants.
The thing about the deck is that it does a lot to itself still in terms of damage and has no healing.
Yeah,
So if it runs into something like Spell Mage, it has a terrible, terrible time.
makes sense. So we are going to have all the decks up for the players. I have them up on the screen. Just gonna wait on ban.
Yeah, we see Always Lethal with his kind of anti-control lineup with the Weapon Rogue and the Slow Druid and stuff is
Yeah,
I think he's gonna get just run over by the aggro here.
I would tend to agree. Yeah.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious. I've been curiously seeing SI7 Skulker make some appearances in decks. It's a bit interesting. I guess I'm not 100% sure why.
Yeah, feels a bit weird in Paladin. I'll give you
Yeah, it
that.
feels weird in Paladin. Like obviously,
I
if you're playing it in Quest Rogue, it's like you're supposed to play it then. So
I think it can be used just for like stealth to like land a Blessing of Authority.
yeah,
Like if you want to try and set up for that.
makes sense.
It's a little bit of a 2-drop though, so keeping it stealth until turn 5 seems strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I would have maybe preferred the 3-1 in that world. With the Death
Yeah, if
Rattle.
you're gonna run that for a death rattle, yeah.
We'll see. I don't know how this alignment Druid is going to find a win here because it looks dire.
Yeah, it's pretty bleak into these decks. It's a terrible into the Druid mirror.
I don't think anything here is better than like 30%, and that might be the Paladin.
I
Is
think
a
Paladin
30%.
I think Paladin's the possible win for it. But
the Druid is going to
other
need to
than
hit
that,
like
it's bleak.
it needs like overgrowth on 3 into alignment with an Anaconda in hand.
Yeah, it just needs to pop off, right? For sure.
The Zoo is also not super happy, I think. I think Jolt C has the faster Zoo,
Mm-hmm.
which is bad, but also Always Lethal has ways to not die immediately, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
He's got giants. There's no giants in Jolt C's because I guess they're too slow
Yeah,
without the quest.
makes sense.
I think this deck would have played them if they weren't nerfed,
Yeah.
for sure. But with the nerfs, it seems you're never playing them for free because that means you probably killed yourself
Yeah,
without healing.
agreed. Kind of interesting to see Dark Glare played again in Standard.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean it was played earlier in the expansion when D6 was a deck, but as soon as the nerf to Stealer Souls came in, that deck disappeared instantly. I mean, Dark Glare hasn't even really been a big card in Wild. It's kind of like a tier 2 deck now. for context.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. So just waiting on the players on ready ups and bans from the players. And so as soon as they do that, we'll be able to start our finals. It's always so interesting to see how things play out in a tournament. I guess we can go back and kind of look at the bracket,
Hmm.
kind of recap. So in round one, we personally spectated Tisu getting a 2-1 win over Rice Bowl, but other matchups was Mick sweeping Saku, Always Lethal getting a 2-1 over Mascun, and Corden getting a 2-1 win over Jailstorm. Reverb losing 2-1 on stream to Corden, Joltzy beating Mick 2-1. Then Tisu getting a 2-0 and Always Lethal getting a 2-0 in the quarterfinals. And then the semifinals, which we just watched, were both 2-1 in favor of our finalists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be exciting finals. I don't know even where to begin with a ban for both these players. Maybe
Yeah.
Always Lethal loses Rogue,
Probably
just because
Rogue.
there's the, well, I don't even know. It's
Yeah.
hard to say.
I feel like you could.
You could ban the
I
Zoo,
think
the
the
Zoo
only I
Warlock.
think I think the only deck you don't ban is the Druid here. You just
Hmm.
leave it up. I think you could ban the Druid or the Rogue and you'd be pretty okay.
It feels weird to ban Weapon Rogue with aggro decks, but the
Agreed.
Warlock seems like maybe squishy enough that it's a problem.
Yeah.
Because that deck deals like 18 self to itself most games and kills on like turn 4 or 5,
Wow.
probably 5.
That's crazy.
So if you deal 18 to yourself, Rogue probably kills you for that.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think the Paladin is concerningly slow as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Druid and the Warlock can run you over so fast, but the
Oh,
Paladin has Librams,
the players are
so it's a little
ready.
slower.
Players are ready. Bans have
Hmm.
not come through yet. I forget that this thing doesn't automatically update, so like um, I have to be refreshing the page just to know when they go. Okay. I wonder if Always Lethal bans out that Warlock, or if he goes for the Taunt Druid ban.
I don't think I would ban the Warlock. I think I would ban the Druid.
Yeah.
I think the Warlock is kind of a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's a good mess because it can totally, if you draw Canrithad and then you play all your entire hand for free on turn 2 or 3,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of nutty. But
Yeah.
it's also has the chance to maybe low roll and maybe kill itself. So for those reasons, I might want to let it stick around.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, you're definitely right there. This deck's even interesting. It plays Shady Bartender, which is a tradable card that gives your demons +2/+2, and it's a 5 cost card.
Uh-huh.
That kind of seems to be a bit of like, if this deck has to go later than turn 5, has to go like 2/5. All right, we do see it. It is a Warlock ban and it is a Druid ban. So I will get that up on the screen, and then I will send the players to go. Tell the players that they can go. We're gonna stick with Always Lethal first to spectate on the stream, and go with. We'll get to see the Poison Rogue this time around. I'm interested to see, because when I was when I was making a poison deck, it more was like an older version of the list, but because it didn't run everything. Right, so waiting on the players to challenge, and then we'll get going into this final series. Okay, they are challenged up, so just gonna wait for the eyeballs.
Mhm.
It'll be interesting to see how these players lead for this match. Which I wonder. I wonder if Joltsy wants to try and get this Warlock through as fast as possible, or if he opts to lead with Libram Pally, and if Always Lethal just goes ahead and wants to go out with the Druid, see if it can get a win early, or if he wants to play a Rogue and try and get a win there.
Starting with the Rogue against Warlock, the squishier of the decks.
Yeah.
Stay in the shadows.
Hey.
Apparently there's a Shroud of Concealment in this Rogue.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why.
probably very likely to draw things like Octobot and I think there's an Octo in Contact in this deck. So really
No, it's a weapon rogue. There's an Octobot apparently. There's no field
okay,
contact.
so there's Octo. Yeah, it's probably looking for like Octo and stuff. I don't know. This list that I've seen.
We have the Penflinger and the Prize Plunderers to activate an Octobot potentially.
Yeah.
So we can either coin the Bloodbound Imp or play the 2/1 drops.
So we're gonna see 2/1 drops potentially, or at least just one.
No, just the okay. No 1 drops or no Flame Imp. I guess because the 2/1 just kills it. That's the reasoning.
Probably.
But so this oh, there's a Mosher. That's pretty good on this Bloodbound Imp so that it doesn't end up spelling the end of the game.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see this Deadly Poison on like you could dagger up Deadly Poison and then Shadow Step the Plunderer and kill this 2/5? That might be the move.
Potentially, yeah. Just to see Shroud Ripped. We're gonna go face.
Oh, Octobot.
Octobot is pretty good. Wicked Shipment. We're gonna see Wicked Shipment played to just get a couple more imps on the board.
Coin the Merchant
Point
just
out
for the biggest.
Point out the Merchant for a 5/6 big minion. Okay.
A little bit of an order with the tap last, but
Yeah.
you know. We can prep Shroud,
Rip Shroud.
Octobot Plunderer, Step Plunderer.
Something like that, yeah.
The only downside is this Mosher on the 1/1 will proc the Octobot. So maybe that's not good.
I was thinking that going for Deadly Poison with a Plunder, that would almost be enough with trades. But we're gonna Shadow Step the Plunderer blade and swing, it looks like.
Yeah, so he's playing around the potential for a buff on these 1/1s and going for the Octobot.
Yeah, especially having a passage in hand for next turn will allow Always Lethal to go digging for something for next turn.
Yeah.
Second imp drawn. There really isn't too much of a. There isn't really too much besides. I guess we're gonna go for the Mosher here to deal damage and heal. This. If there was a trigger for the Octo, you could potentially see that to get a 0 mana passage, but I think we're just gonna see passage rip next turn from Always Lethal. No Flame Imp or anything like that played by Jolt C. Cloak will be pretty. Cloak can be coming in some good handy later in the game.
Still no weapons in sight.
Yeah, the lack of Swine Tusk Shank is could end up being problematic.
Good Dagger of Deadly Penflinger and trade the 3/3.
Yeah.
What that does is it leaves a Penflinger on the board that you can play a spell and use on your Octobot.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't feel great to do a Deadly Poison before your weapons, but you don't always have an option. Okay, going for the immunity instead.
Okay.
It's reasonable. We don't protect our. We don't set up the Octobot play, but Octobot wasn't that good anyway with how few cards we had. So
Yeah. It's unfortunate seeing a deadly and a paralytic uh used before the weapon.
Mhm.
But I mean if he wants to survive, this is what he has to essentially do. All right, we're going to see a small Dark Glare turn here it looks like.
I wouldn't even call this small. This is a pretty good one. It is a Flame Imp.
Yeah, I guess you go Flame Imp and then you get to tap and see what you get from the tap. Then you get the Shadow Slinger, the minion as well.
Obviously, I never miss.
Now it decides to go for a buff.
Okay. Not bad at all. It does take the there's the
Shank shows up a
Shank.
turn too late.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see Smite played on this 4/5 to get rid of the Dark Glare.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's definitely a really good way to go here. Just and you can just remove the 4/3 as well. Because this because the Warlock is running on top decks and taps at this point. Meanwhile, you have your Shank, you have Deadly Poison, so you're gonna be able to kind of buff the weapon a little bit and start poking next turn. Cloak of Shadows to protect against any large potential boards.
Right. The question now is making sure you hit enough draw to win the game.
We're going for Cloak here. Right? You have to.
Feels too early. I think you would let this hit you if you're doing that.
Okay.
Because this isn't that threatening. It's only 7. Okay.
Interesting.
I feel like 7 connecting is fine.
I tend to agree with that, especially because now we're gonna see Flame Imp, and we're gonna see a pretty wide board here, and
Yeah. Now the issue if they draw the demon buffer for 5 mana.
yeah,
Not good.
there's not enough damage now to take out the
Well, we still might just be playing the Mr. Smite into this.
Yeah,
Glare.
you're right. Mr. Smite, he probably doesn't want to use it, but I feel like
You could double Octobot as well. You can't kill both of them, probably.
can't kill them both without proccing. Yeah, very likely. He only plays one.
Oh, the taunts. The taunts are pretty scary.
Yeah, Demonic Assault is just that almost spells end of game because of Poison Rogue having to hit into taunts for 2 turns while you're swinging all your damage face. I mean, I guess the prospect of an Octobot triggering isn't that scary.
Well, we're just we're using the we're triggering the Octobot. I don't feel like we needed to, but
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you don't even bother trading the rest, and you send 10 damage face. I don't think there's a way. I don't, like, you probably have to guess there's no way for this rogue to actually, kill you from here. I mean, it would have to be all damage over the top in hand. And in that case, you would definitely want to rush them down, not worry about the Octo. All right, you can wriggling between the taunts. I guess we're gonna wriggling between the minions that can deal damage right now. Secret Passage.
Secret Passage is good.
He's gonna have to find some good stuff here.
If you hit a cloak, it might be enough.
Yeah.
With some other things.
Silverleaf. There, Shank, Penflinger. Okay.
Penflinger, okay, killing the board. I'm not sure what killing the 2/1 does because we can't. There's no way we're gonna clear the board, right?
Yeah. Didn't find it anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little confused why we were trying to kill minions that didn't matter, but it's fine.
Yeah. That is Jolt C's.
I do wonder if we'd just fought for board a little harder with this Mr. Smite. Potentially could have had an extra turn or two there, just because those minions
I agree.
weren't around.
I agree. I think especially because you're forcing your opponent to trade something into a 6 attacker, because it doesn't die from, it wouldn't have died from hitting into the first iteration of it. Alright, so now we have the Paladin versus the Rogue.
But we did draw a Swine Touch Shank this time with 2 poisons and a Cunning Glass.
So this is definitely what you
a little bit of an upgrade.
Agreed.
Low start here for both sides. Probably just playing the stealth. It's going to sit there for a while, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this Paladin deck just gets some taunt on the board, how this Poison Rogue deals with it. There's no coerce.
I'm not sure how it's going to get taunt before Hope. I guess Devout People. That one comes down a little sooner.
I mean, this isn't. No, there's Eldor Truth Seekers and.
Yeah, Eldor Truth Seeker, but that one's not that scary.
Yeah. It's especially because we're gonna be able to play Zero Mana Cutting Class next turn to draw even more.
Really? It's not too heavy.
Yeah, the Divine Shield taunts are more of a concern without coerce.
For sure. Right. Really, this rogue really wants Silverleaf Poison at this point.
Yeah, but you can't always have it.
I know.
I do wonder about pushing 5 into a minion there. Felt weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know how much you're concerned about buffs. At this